What's up, guys? Welcome back to the latest episode of We Have to Talk About It.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. When I tell you, this show is going crazy. We are here to talk about episode 3 of The Wheel of Time. We're in season 3, but we have watched episode 3. And there is so much stuff going on right now.
So much going on. And before we get into that, we just have to say thank you so much to the Wheel of Time community for showing up and showing out for our first review of the first 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
We really enjoyed all the comments and the insight that you gave us and engaging with y'all. So we're going to keep this train rolling.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, so episode 3. It begins. They didn't waste any time.
When I tell you started off snatching wigs.
The Forsaken have gathered. Like I guess the most powerful Forsaken have gathered.
So yeah, I was wondering, because I was trying to figure out, there's 13 in total, and we got to see
4.
Yeah, and so
3, but 4.
Right. Yeah, and we had a little surprise there at the beginning because I was like, wait, now do I know him?
We do. It was the Queen's husband. What they call him, the Prince Consort, I believe. And come to find out, everybody's Forsaken.
Our boy is a Forsaken. And it was funny when Lanfear called him a politician, because I was like, yeah, of course.
Of course.
You know, him being in the court with the Queen, of course he's the politician of the Forsakens, right? So.
And poor Mogideon. I mean.
What did Lanfear call her? She called her, what was the word that she used to describe her?
I forgot. Was it weak? Did she call her weak?
It was like a word that was like that. I think it was. Cannot remember.
But then he was like, but she also called you smart.
Right. Yeah,
and so,
hold on.
Okay, this is what I want to get into though. So I remember at the end of season 2 when Mogideon had Lanfear tangled up in her web. So if she's so weak, girl, how was she able to put you down for a quick minute?
I clocked that too, because I was like, I would not go for the word weak.
Right.
You kind of hemmed up. But I do think it does speak to the hierarchy of them. Yeah. Because we know that what's his name? The guy.
The Dark One?
Yeah, what was his name? What was his actual name though?
The one that they killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do not remember.
I can't remember his name. Child, like, what's these folks?
12? Ishmael.
Yes.
Ishmael.
So we know that he was the strongest of them, supposedly. I know that he's supposed to be the one that's like chosen by the, the Dark One. But he got killed first. So I'm like, though there's a hierarchy of who's stronger, that doesn't mean that they can't get clocked.
Right. They're all still powerful. They're all still powerful. And I think I am really interested in Mogideon as a character because she said, Lanfear is playing the same game.
She said, I'm playing a different one.
She said, I'm playing a new one.
She said, you won't catch me held up for 3,000 years.
Won't be me again, okay?
I was like, I love that. I actually love that as an idea because I feel like it's showing them not only as powerful beings, but they got some strategy going on, not only with the protagonist, but with each other.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm like, child.
And so we get a little Mogideon at the beginning of the episode, and then she circles back at the very end of the episode
softly,
as she's infiltrated the Black Aja and is listening in, seeing what they're up to.
She saw they had their little cuff. She said,
right.
What's that?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So, Mogideon, I got my eye on you, girl. I'm very curious to see what game you are playing for the rest of this season.
I'm also curious to see how the Prince Consort, the guy, again, the names, I don't know the people's names, but I'm curious to see how he's going to weave the persona of being the queen's husband on Lanfear's side, supposedly, like seeing whatever she's talking about, and Mo Gideon. Like he has three different storylines that he's kind of having to play with right now. That's very interesting.
We know since he's a politician, he's going to betray someone.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Who will it be?
Yeah.
Who will it be?
Who will be first? Who will be first?
Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is I want to take a minute. Excuse me, my eyes are watering, but I want to take a minute to talk about the Red Aja and how, baby, they have a Tia Kemp spirit on them.
Yeah.
The Red Aja will read you for Phil.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, these women are vicious.
Yeah.
It started out with, I think her name is Elaida Sedai.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out with her trying to push her way into seeing the Emerald Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she gets stopped,
Mm-hmm.
but she tells Perrin and what's her name?
With the bun.
The blue Aja with the bond. I think her name is Leanne. She tells Perrin and Leanne, don't cross me. If you cross me now, I won't forget it.
Period. Absolutely. Now, I will say, Leanne has some reads on her too, because I know it was one point in the show where she went and she reported to the Red Aja that they had to go on like a mission or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
And they were like, how? They asked her how did she get in or how did she find the whatever. She said, I followed the rats.
Ate them right up.
And clear.
She did eat them right up.
I
But
thought it was so funny. But yeah, Elaida, baby, our girl is on a mission.
her voice is so deep.
It is.
Her voice is haunting.
It actually kind of threw me off for a second because I was like, is something happening with my computer?
No.
Going on?
That's mama's voice.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was so interesting. After she gets blocked from seeing the Emerald Sea, she goes to the Reds, and they immediately start a reading session. First, she comes bearing gifts, which, the strawberries are accepted, but then she offers a necklace to the current highest, who leans in and goes, that's a bit too gaudy for me. You keep it. I said, oh, okay, okay. But then, after basically they have ushered her out and saying these gifts are not going to win you favor with us, she stops and turns around and goes, oh, Suan blocked you from the keep.
Yeah.
And the fact that you didn't fight, that's on you.
That tells a lot about you. Yeah.
Well, so I'm just like, okay, the Reds, they're very spicy.
Yeah. I think it's cool to see that even with Leanne being, or not Leanne, Leandrine being gone, and all of them, there's still a lot that's happening within the tower, but within the Reds in the tower. And I think that, there's just a lot of moving pieces happening right now.
Oh, and to come to find out that Elaida is also a seer. Mm-hmm. So she what's our girl, the seer men. Mm-hmm. So we always knew that men was a seer, but for
and
Elaida,
she was kind of the only one in the show.
Correct. So I'm kind of like, okay, so Elaida has seen some things, and the things that she said that she saw in this episode is that the Reds basically take their place back in terms of having more influence at the White Tower. Absolutely. And so I'm curious to see if that's actually going to come into play, because we did see that the current highest was pulled away
to go on the mission,
leaving seven others. So leaving basically a vacancy, I think, for Elaida to come back in there and pull some strings.
Some things
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's funny that you talk about people or abilities being identified in this, because we see that our girl Igaine,
we love you.
You know what? It took me a minute because I was annoyed last season. I did not like how they were doing our girl, but the way that she came out on top, I stand Igaine. I really do.
we know that she's powerful, but now her powers continue to increase.
even more in another way. And I think what's actually going to be really interesting to see, because I do feel like she is being tormented by Lanfear in the dream world. When she is able to hone in on these new, because I'm not really sure what the ability technically is.
Right, right. It's basically it's like she can enter into I think they call it tele telandriad,
Okay.
which without channeling or without
Mm-hmm.
supporting mechanism, she
Mm-hmm.
can just go in and out of that dream state. Which I feel like the only people that we've been able to see do that are Lanfear
Mm-hmm.
and Rand.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now Igaine
And now
can
you
also
win.
do it
Yeah.
as well as the lady
Yeah, right, right. Because she's
that
gonna
they're
be,
traveling
I guess,
with.
Egwene's like mentor for that. Yeah, I feel like she. But you remember how Beyonce and what was that obsession or obsessed when she
Obsessed, yes.
obsessed? Yeah, you came into my house. This how she about to do with Landry. You came into my house. You touched.
I
I'm
do
about to
think,
beat.
that's a really cool prediction. She's gonna figure out that
Yeah.
Lanfear's messing with her in her dreams,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and
Flip that script.
what is she gonna be able to do about
Mm-hmm.
it?
Absolutely.
Very
I
good
thought that was a
question.
really good addition to what she can already do. Because, like I said, or like you just stated, she's powerful. We learned that at the
Yeah.
end of, but this is just yet another thing that she can
Yeah.
add to her belt of things that she can do. So,
All right, so one thing I also want to talk about, Nynaeve.
okay. I
Nynaeve,
have some updated notes about our
I
girl.
do too.
Yeah, I have some
And
updated
and
notes.
I'm actually looking at
Yeah.
my note
Yeah.
right now because I want to thank someone. I think her name is Rise Reed. She left us a comment on our
Mm-hmm.
episode 1 and 2 review to give us a little context about
Yeah.
our girl Nynaeve and why her powers are blocked.
Absolutely.
And it's the fact that she was able to basically teach herself how
Mm-hmm.
to channel at a young age.
Yep.
When that happens, girls don't often survive it.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she's able to is a big deal. And it's because of that, her subconscious
Mm-hmm.
has created a block
Yeah.
that prevents her from consciously channeling. And our friend noted that it does take her a while to overcome it,
Yeah.
but when she does, it's going to be a good thing. But what I will say is, in this episode, I was able to appreciate Nynaeve's street smarts.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to really kind of show up in a different way
Yeah.
through the interrogations, through going back and looking for clues about where Lanfear may be by seeing where she had been keeping her son.
The situation with Perrin.
Yes, the
She
situation.
swapped it with Elaine.
Oh, okay, talk about that.
Yeah. So the moment when the gray man came, right? He was following them, I guess kind of tracking them, Nynaeve and Elaine. And when he entered the room and he had the crossbow, he shot at, and Nynaeve caught it, like she saw him, she, pulled Elaine down so that she wouldn't get hit. And Elaine, just I'm pretty sure it was out of reflex. She channeled and was able to like push him out of the room, but she didn't stab him. She didn't stab him.
Did not.
She didn't stab him. And so when they, exited the room, they saw the gray man, and Perrin came around the corner acting like, what's going on? Nynaeve told Elaine, they had their little moment because she asked Perrin, she was like, what are you doing up here? Now, Perrin did clock them back and say, now these
What
are
are
the
you
Brown
doing up
Office
here?
quarters.
Right.
What are y'all doing? So there was a little moment where she was like, hold on, Miss Girl. Hold on.
Not too much.
Yeah. But, when they were walking away, or I guess maybe when Perrin left, Nynaeve pointed out to Elaine, she was like, keep in mind, she didn't ask us who stabbed him.
So did she do the stabbing? And is that why she didn't ask? Or is there another reason?
Yeah.
I got my eye on Miss Perrin now.
Yeah. It's a lot of, because I think the thing that they're doing with them, especially because they are younger, like they're just giving them things to do, right? Like it's like, go discover who the other Black Aja are. Go do it, like just kind of giving them like tasks to do. But these girls are like, hold on, we trying to figure out some stuff for ourselves. And so I feel like because they're kind of disrupting the assignments that they're being given, I feel like they're about to uncover some additional secrets with some of the players involved. So I don't know what Perrin got going on.
But at the end of the day, Nynaeve, I'm sorry, girl. I was rough on you.
Yeah, it was really the moment when I was like, okay, hold on, this is my girl. When they were doing the interrogation, and then the girl was crying or whatever, and Nynaeve crossed her arms, and she said, "Baby, give it up, give it up." But what did New York say? Give it up, delicious.
Oh,
it looked
yes, she didn't care.
She did not care at all. I was like, okay, yeah, my girl is kind of over it. And I was like, yeah. I think it's getting to the point to where now, though her power might still be blocked, I feel like she's getting away from this kind of like weak mentality.
For sure.
And that's what I want to see. I think that's what I was getting.
That's all we've been waiting on. Yeah. We've just been waiting on you to show some strength. Yeah. Some kind of strength.
Any kind.
Any kind.
It doesn't have to be in power, but even just in mentality.
Exactly.
My girl was like, okay, hold on. We got to get this together. So.
And she quickly, put the pieces of the puzzle together to know, I think that Leandrins and Tanchino, that's where we need to go. And we are not going in the morning. Yeah. We're going tonight.
Now. She said, I don't believe either of them.
Oh, and the other little, before we move on, the other little piece that I don't want to forget. So we subtly found out that our girl Igaine did go through the arches and became accepted because of the interrogation. Yeah. She came in, one of the people that had been still clocked it, they were like, oh, they must have rushed you through the arches.
That was funny.
So,
that was funny.
Yeah,
that was a funny
I was glad to catch that, even though, we didn't get to see it. It was nice to see that she did, in fact, go through and she's now accepted.
Our girl earned her stripes.
Yep.
Fair and square.
Fair and square.
They rushed her through it, but she did it. Okay, so before we skip to a different part, I do want to say that the moment when Leandrin, or all the Black Aja, went into the wedding situation,
baby,
as soon as they were walking in and the camera went to Leandrin, why did I say, ooh, fashion?
That veil was sickening.
It was the dress, the veil, everything. I said, oh, fashion.
And not only did she have on a sickening veil, but I feel like the groom also had on a little veil.
No, the actual party, the party inside, they all actually looked really good. But I was like, Leandrin did come in with this very saturated, bright red and kind of stole the show.
The fashions have stepped up this season.
You can tell that whoever there was that commented and said the budget went up.
The wardrobe department definitely got a few more coins.
They saw something that budget going up because the wardrobe has gotten significantly better.
Everyone looks fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. We noted that in the first couple of episodes, just even that first scene in episode 1, when we were able to see some of the white Aja's robes and stuff.
Yes.
Hold on,
fashion.
Yeah. So, good job on that. Another piece. So, did you have to say anything else about the piece? Now, okay. I will say, when the groom, what was it, the groom that made like a smart remark or something? I said, look, in my head, I was like, now hold on, these women are on edge.
You don't want to do that.
I was like, they're on edge. They will snap necks and they will cut you in half. And that's exactly what happened.
And she said, what did she say? Don't take it easy.
And they did not.
They didn't.
They slaughtered the entire room except for daughter.
Right. And I'm like, what are they gonna do with her?
I don't know.
Well, I feel like they have a plan for her. Like they're gonna do something with her.
I'm wondering what her individual significance is. Like, is she like a powerful person? Like, what is she?
Right.
And maybe she doesn't know it, and they know it, or like I don't know. Because I was like, Leandrin, obviously, from what we know with her kid, she has a motherly persona. But I'm like, there has to be some reason behind her kind of this figure for this girl.
Nynaeve did say that. She said, I know she's not a good person, but she was trying to help me.
Yeah.
Now, why she was trying to help you,
Right.
But she
right.
was trying to help her. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You got, because I got another little note.
You go right ahead.
Okay. Alana and Maxim.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of clocked this early, but it was like in the back of my mind. I was thinking, I was like, I feel like she does not care that Ivan got killed. And that was just something that I was kind of thinking about. I was like, well, maybe not. I don't know. Whatever.
I think she cares, but I think she has processed it a lot faster than Maxim.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know. It's something about that just when she was talking to Perrin and she was like, when one half of two people is lost, then the other person grieves. But when it's three people, then who bears the burden of grief, right? And when she said that, I was like, she don't care. It's like she does not.
Well,
care.
she also told Perrin that she's lost a few warders, so this wasn't her first time.
Okay.
Whereas with Maxim, he told the ladies, this is the only man I've ever loved. So I just think they're at different places with it, and they have different experiences that are informing how they're grieving.
Yeah, that's true. I really feel for Maxim though, because I even when he was saying like, why don't you just cut the bond? Cut it off. Because he was like, I can feel that you don't care, or that you're not showing care toward. And I'm like, dang, that has to be hard because he can feel that with her, but also dually he feels his own grief. I know that has to be like a really difficult thing to process.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so I mean, overall, I felt like this episode was a lot slower.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the first episode was a lot of action. It was super fast paced. Second episode slowed down a little bit. This episode slowed way down. So I feel like we're gearing up for maybe another action packed episode, hopefully in episode 4 of the season.
Yeah. If not 4, definitely 5.
Definitely 5. Yeah.
I think this episode set up a lot of stuff too, because then we're able to see Mogideon kind of in her sleuth mode. We're able to see that, Elaine and Nynaeve are they're on to something. I feel like they could be kind of figuring. I think that it's showing that everybody is kind of in the midst of or they're in the middle of something.
Exactly.
Like Leandrin, they captured this girl. They have all of these tools to then, what do they call it? Not steal
to collar him.
Yeah.
They want to put the collar on him and use them for the darkness.
Yeah. So it's like everybody's kind of in the middle of their plan, right? So, and Elaida, she's kind of in the middle of this almost kind of takeover of the Red. So it's like everybody's.
Listen, the only person that we didn't really get to see scheming this episode was Moraine.
Right. Yeah. Girl.
She's the one that's always scheming. But
what were they in the steam?
The steam.
What is going on?
The steam tent.
Lifetime.
She thought she was about to get her a little piece. Meanwhile, the eye wasn't on her.
At all.
But listen, we want to hear your thoughts about episode 3 of The Wheel of Time. We know we're not the biggest subject matter experts on the canon of the show. Yeah. So as you watch, if there's any additional context that you can give us, please drop it in the comments.
Inviting the commentary.
Yes. Yeah. So we're thankful to be growing with y'all, to be watching along with y'all, and we can't wait for episode 4.
Absolutely. And we will be right here when episode 4 debuts. The plan is to give you guys a recap with the debut. So
I think we're gonna make it happen.
We will.
We might not be in the same place, but I think we're still gonna make it happen.
Right. But yes, like he said, please drop some commentary in the comments. We would love to discuss. We've been having such a great time talking with you guys. So please comment and make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed with us. And I think. Is that it?
I think that's it. Okay. So, the wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Hello?
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you for the next episode.